Okay, here we go, live. I am going to have to play with this to figure out how to invite people. There apparently is a button to do that. So here we go. Okay. Today's card on the Animal Spirit Guidebook is Tiger. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence. Fear nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits, sensuality, receptivity, and devotion. All are heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend time in silence this evening, drinking with potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except awakening of your own power. I do plan on actually spending some time alone today, interestingly. And this card says lunar forces, and I know that tomorrow is the full moon, I believe. It's a really good card, the tiger. When in balance, passionate, strong, sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated. And to bring into balance, candle gazing. Cool. I dropped Kuan Yin. Okay, interesting, in this draw, I drew the very first card of this book, of this deck, 1, and then I also drew 44, which is the last card of the Medicine Heart deck. So, beginnings and endings, and we'll see what else it says. There are times when we feel nothing. Oh, the card is above you, the lantern dancer. Above you, the lantern dancer. There are times when we feel as though nothing seems to be flowing. We encounter obstacles and closed doors. We wait for another door to open, but nothing seems to be happening. We may begin to doubt ourselves whether our dreams are even possible. The oracle of above you, the lantern dancer, brings you a message. Things are not as they seem. You may think you have the whole picture in your mind, but there are other factors at play you cannot see clearly. Let go of your fixed opinions and worries. Trust in the power of the divine to work things out in the best way. You don't have to work out the solution yourself. You just need to trust your inner guidance and allow yourself to be led. The path you are taking needs to twist and turn a little before your success can come. There are certain elements that need to be integrated, certain people that need to become involved. Trust in this, and it will happen as natural, coinciding people, opportunities, and events according to the divine plan. It will always work out. I love that. I've had cards like this before, usually around time that I wouldn't say the word is always struggling, but I know that yesterday and today there's been an energy of struggling a little bit with a few things, and this is definitely one of those instances where I have wondered if I didn't need to do something else other than what I'm doing, right? Like you maintain with what you're doing, you don't stop anything, but I have wondered, and I know that one of the big pieces that I have been working on has been giving up to trust and letting looking beyond what things appear to be and trusting that it will just be as it's meant to. And I know that parts of that I don't have trouble with. Anyway, that's that card. And then this card, Mother of Star Nations. Absolutely love this card. Beautiful. Mother of Star Nations. Isn't that beautiful? Just the artwork on that is magnificent. Mother of Star Nations, 44. It's the last one in this book. From the ancient peoples of indigenous Australia to the Egyptians, the indigenous peoples of the America, the ancients of China and India, the Middle East, Africa, the connection between evolution and the higher guiding consciousness of star beings is acknowledged. The interpretation of that bond between the stars and humanity varies considerably, depending on our individual human belief systems. For the purposes of divine feminine shamanic practice, the consciousness of the stars holds ancient knowledge that can support humankind in evolving spiritually, in learning how to integrate the higher understanding of spiritual perspective into how we live our lives as human beings. We can honor the stars as divine feminine wisdom teachings. The star system Sirius is revered as the divine being Sopdet in ancient Egypt, heralded as the form of the Egyptian goddess Isis, associated with sacred queenship, spiritual renewal and rebirth, transformation, magic, love, initiation, and healing. The Pleiades are seen as the feminine through the astromyths of Native American Lakota and the ancient Greeks and numerous First Nations of Australia, language groups such as the Wiradjuri people, and latter two identifying them as the Seven Sisters. In one version of the story, the indigenous Australian Burong people of the northwestern Victoria describe the constellation as a group of women drumming for dancing youths. One might compare that to the Western mystery tradition, understanding the Pleiades as a group of spiritual elders beings watching over the younger souls, actively engaging in their earthly spiritual path. Spiritual guardians that dwell as stars are not separate from humanity, but rather intertwined with humankind's spirituality and genetically. While science can tell us that we are literally made of stardust, our hearts are born with innate, intuitive recognition of our divine ancestry. For some, that will mean that we literally evolved from certain star systems through numerous incarnations of the soul until we eventually made our way to the human form. For others, the sense of wonder when gazing at the stars may elicit an invisible tug of sacred connection that bonds us to human ancestors who gazed at the same stellar object. The Lakota legend tells us the story of a bear in pursuit of the seven maidens. The women fell to their knees praying for divine protection, and the ground beneath them rose high into the air, lifting them out of harm's way, and they became the seven stars of the Pleiades. The oracle speaks of the spiritual protection possible when one has confidence in one's spiritual connection, of courageous prayer leading to elevation beyond harm, and increasing in your spiritual light that can guide others. Protection of you individually benefits many more than solely yourself. To recognize this can help you reframe the idea of self-care or simply care, which brings benefit of life. The native oral history of the Cree traces their heritage to the stars who transform the spirits to become humans on living earth. The belief that ancestral lineages extend to the Pleiades is found in a number of indigenous American nations such as the Hopi, Dakota, and the Cherokee. Mother Star Nations is a cosmic divine mother manifesting through souls devoted to the collective spiritual rebirth and the awakening of humanity. Chimpanzee soul medicine is a call to light, lightheartedness of playful presence. Light is a symbol of knowledge and open mind, the childlike state rather than childish state, whereby the soul can be curious, investigate, and be exploratory. This is a fertile ground for creative evolution. Chimps are not solitary creatures, and every chimpanzee has a particular role to play in their social organization. Embracing our various roles and recognizing how important they are to the greater workings of teams in which we belong is part of the spiritual teaching of the chimpanzee. Even though you may not always feel your role as important as someone else, rest assured you are valuable, needed. The energies that you bring to your relationship and the ways that are authentic to your soul genuinely make the difference. The oracle speaks of a time when relationships are of particular importance to your soul healing and spiritual awakening. The red magnolia holds the yin, magnetic quality of attraction, wealth, peace, good fortune, and joy. So we have the red magnolia, we have a chimpanzee, and we have the goddess image. The oracle speaks of long-standing and far-reaching legacies that will stand the test of time, that within you, which may seem delicate and fragile, but is actually incredibly strong and able to survive in all manner of tests and challenges. Red magnolia is the blood life and the confidence, the courage and capacity to act on your spiritual understandings and circulate the rarefied stellar light of your spirit through your soul into your body and out through the ecosystem of life. In China, legend tells the emperor bestowing a magnolia as a gift to his faithful subjects as a mark of gratitude, regard, and respect. Magnolia can be considered a sign from spirit that your devotion and your perseverance is acknowledged and that your loyalty to the love as your guiding soul value will not lead you astray. Oh, I love that. So, really good cards today. There's a lot of information in that. I think the thing that caught me as I was reading is in the Kuan Yin book, it talks about let go of your fixed opinions and worries, trust in the power of the divine to work things out in the best possible way. And then in the Mother of Star Nations, it was, oh, I read a lot, didn't I? I think it was really pretty much the lines where talking about all the different traditions around the world that talk that we are from the stars. And I think that there is a tendency when we think of ourselves and our connections to each other that that connection is superficial. And that we are always going to understand all the ins and outs of whatever it is that's happening or whatever comes at us is face value. But there's always more to it, right? There's always more to the picture. And I know that for me today, I need to spend a little bit of time, Tiger tells me this, that I need to spend a little bit of time by myself today. I have a lot to do. I have a lot of little things I need to finish this week, and I have a lot of writing to do today. So I'm hoping to get that done. I'm hoping to work on that. I also have, I have that other thing today. I forgot about that. I'm going to be a guest on a podcast today. I'd forgotten about that. I'm going to need to prepare for that. I'd forgotten. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I want to read from the Celtic Devotional too. I want to look at today's theme. I do this for myself every day, but I know I don't always do it for y'all. I usually just do the cards for y'all. But I really kind of wanted to do today's theme. So today's theme is the companionship of animals. I love that. I had a magnificent experience a couple weeks ago. I took a course with some friends of mine, partly because I wanted them to experience it and partly because I knew I needed to go to meet some people. And some of that hasn't really come to fruition, so I know I need to send some emails and like connect with people, but it was how to speak to your animals. And Astra and I talk all the time. And she's quite chattery. And part of the exercise to get your certificate from this course was you did homework. And I was able to do some things. I was able to do some communication and share that with some of my classmates. And all of my classmates got a little bit tickled by their communication with either Astra or Gethin, who has passed on, and is in the spirit realm. And Astra's kind of spicy with people. I still think that's really funny. So it's Friday. I'm going to read from Friday. Keeper of the cauldron, may elements of my life swirl about me. Many elements of my life swirl about me in turmoil. May I enter your wholeness to savor the meaning in silence. I give thanks for all the elements that are resolved. Soul teacher, weaver of my soul, send forth your shining ball of thread that I may follow the track of this day's turning. May the world never lack wonder, the splendor of the rainbow, and the magnitude of the oceans. Height of the mountains surround us on every side. May the holy ones preserve all shrines of natural wonder. I ask a blessing upon all those who hold the government and the world in their hands. May the vigilant judge and the Lady Justice grant them purification of motives and responsibility of actions. I'm caught up in the whirlpool of events that leaves me a little time to understand the meaning. I ask my soul friends for good judgment and discrimination as I do, especially in the events that trouble all of us in this moment. I do want to say something about that. There's quite a few wars going on right now, and some of them are quite awful. War is always awful. I'll just say that. There's an undercurrent of misunderstanding as to what's happened in history and how we got here with a couple of these wars. And this is where I encourage people to go find a book at a library, go download free books on whatever platform you're using, and read a little bit about what has happened in history and figure out how we got here. Because if you don't have the context, it's very hard to understand, and it's very easy to make blanket statements. I am not condoning anything. I'm not condoning war. I'm not condoning any of the behaviors on either side of any of these wars. I really, truly don't think we should be in war ever. I think there's other ways of doing this. But I also know that, as in two children on a playground, something's been going on. Something's been going on that the teacher didn't see. And somebody finally lashed out. Somebody finally did something. And neither are blameless. So, on that note, I wish you all blessings. And I'm going to continue to be doing lives. And from what I understand from the little blip that came up on my phone, the live goes private until it's processed, and then I can choose to put it live. So if you join me in the mornings, you see it first thing, and then you have to wait for me to wait for it to process on the backside so that I can make it public. So at least that's the way I hope it's gonna work. So hopefully this video goes into the queue and it will be posted later. I love you all. Have a happy, blessed morning. I'm a little scattered this morning because just am. Blessed be, and I will see you in prayer, and I will figure out how to make it stop. Okay, how do we end?